Hi, this is Dan from Binaural Recording Sights and Sound. And let you guys know that I did come back from the game On Expo and we did get some cool captures of the panels that were at the event. However, the binaural parts of it didn't actually turn out. So these recordings that you're going to see here are actually just going to be just the recordings, just with the production value and the things that I've added to it. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Take a watch.
I haven't tried with this one, it's not either.
All right, so I'm going to start talking.
Yeah, here.
Hey everybody, I'm Leo, and hello, and this is Richie.
Hey.
And the cool thing that what we do, I want to share with you a couple of things. We're going to show you some visuals right now. My background is a 2D animator, and I've worked in 2D for a very, very long time, doing storyboards, character design. Oh, there we go. Wow, nice.
All right, let's give him a hand. Yeah.
Check, test it out on the iPad.
He's a true hero for today. Oh, we're gonna test it here, see if it works.
Do you have sound too?
No.
We don't need sound, but if we
got it.
connect it.
Oh, okay.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
What do you guys
now,
see?
Now try it on the iPad.
Yeah. No, it was supposed to be me on the beach like this.
Okay.
No, you got the right one.
Plug it in there and then try it on now. All right, I think we got it. So I do 2D animation. Richie does 3D animation. And we're really excited to share with you. There's some really new things happening in animation, and it's not at the big companies like Disney or DreamWorks or stuff like that. What's really, really cool is after COVID, I don't know if you know, but the whole entertainment industry is still kind of recovering. There's a lot of things like the strikes and everything like that. But one of the great things about animation is that the animators discovered that we were the only part of the entertainment company that was not halted by COVID, right? We were able to just go home, work on our computers, and actually be at 100% production. So when we saw that, and then during COVID, that's what people wanted, is they wanted entertainment, right? They wanted to be comforted, they wanted to see the cartoons and the shows. So animators, we were able to do that entirely. So we have this whole built system, not having to be in a studio, not having to be in Los Angeles. And it's the whole thing has just given a lot of power to individual animators, which is what we're doing now. So I'm going to show you a couple of things here, and Richie's going to show you some 3D stuff. We're going to start off with 3D, and then I'm going to show you some 2D stuff. And I'll let Richie start off with the 3D. Are you ready for the 3D?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I am.
All right, there you go.
Hi everybody, my name is Ricardo Jimenez, or you can call me Richie. I've been animating for a while now. I went to the Art Institute of Phoenix. Anybody know the Art Institute? A lot of my instructors were from Fox Animation. They worked on Anastasia and Titan AE, Prince of Egypt, all those movies. So they all come from Don Bluth. So I was trained traditionally first, and turning the paper. You guys ever experienced that before? It's a lot of work. And then from there I went into digital, which is just all computer graphic animation. And so the one thing that I do appreciate getting trained the old school way, the more traditional way, was that we take a lot of things for granted now. We have it really easy. Back then you had to really focus on referencing, just kind of making sure that you understand posing, you understand timing very, very, very well. And now most of the times right now the computer does it for you, right? But if you guys want to be animated, if you guys want to really get into this stuff, you guys can really get into it, and that's what we're going to be kind of talking about that today by showing you some of the 3D stuff. Who's used Maya before? So Maya, what's that? Go ahead.
I went to the Art Institute.
Oh, okay, awesome.
We might have been in the same class.
Well, I don't know about that, but I went years ago, like early 2000, and I actually taught there years later. Once after working in a couple studios, I worked at a game studio. I worked on Walling Up, and then you guys familiar with those? And then I also worked on some animation for the and the game side of things. on a game called Darksiders. You know the first one? Yeah. So anyway, so I did a lot of stuff for Discovery Channel. At the studio I worked for, we did a couple shows there. The last show I worked on was Unraveling the Cosmos. It's called Space, Unraveling the Cosmos. Right after that studio closed, they gave me an opportunity to teach at a school called GCU. And I helped them with a lot of the animation ground classes. I helped them write a lot of the content. So I've been there since 2013. But I never left doing a lot of the field work. And as you can see right now here, this is one of the rigs that we're using in some of the classes that we teach in 3D animation. This is the character animation class. Who likes doing character animation? Okay, so before you start doing character animation, you got to do the basics, right? So it's really important to understand the fundamentals. Does anybody tell me the 12 principles of animation? If you guys do, you guys come to my booth. I'll give you guys a prize. Can anybody do the challenge right now? Oh my God, this is embarrassing.
One of them. Just do one.
Just do one. What? Anybody know one? Which one? Squash and stretch is one. Anybody else?
Anticipation.
Anticipation. And what's another one? Yes. Follow through. Yeah. Or an overlapping. So those are the things that you really want to make sure you have those core fundamentals embedded in you when you want to do animation, right? Because you're going to carry that along in your entire career. As long as you have the basics down and the fundamentals down, you get you get those simple things down. Your animations are always going to look great all the time. One of the things I do see is that a lot of people, especially early students, they ignore that and they think by adding extra movement or adding extra overlapping or secondary actions is going to cover the mistakes. It's not going to. You'll see it, and that's unfortunately in animation. Everything you can see all the mistakes right away, especially if another animator sees it. So all right, so let's get into this. Does anybody use Blender? Yeah, we use Blender as well, but we thought today we'll show you guys Maya. And so this is Maya 2023, and this is one of the rigs that we use. This is the Mary rig, and you kind of see. Let me go back to her rig here. It's really important when you're doing character animation. It's really important to understand the rig. Why? Because you want to make sure you could move the character the way you want to. You don't want to get too creepy, It will break the rig. But you kind of see the eyes, how they move around, things like that. Okay, and so you want to make sure that you understand the rig very well. I mean, all of this moves. All of it, even the shoulders, right here. The boob controllers, and then also let me move this back here for a second. And even you get some really cool, depending on your rigger, you can. Let me see here. Let me go back to. There we go. We're gonna go to my channel box here real quick. So these are the main controllers. You can move her around, things like that. Let me see if I'm hiding anything. So this is the animation. This is a really quick animation I did. And I don't know if you guys could hear it. Let me see if you guys can hear this.
No one even asked me if I took the milk money that time. I just got a 3-day vacation.
Okay? So when I animated this, I had to do the first thing was what? Is find references. Because I wanted to make it look natural. How does anybody know what's the best way to find a reference for this?
Google. Make your own.
Yeah, make your own. Google, Internet is fine. If you don't like acting in front of a camera, ask your friend to do it for you. Ask your neighbor, anybody. But you need that referencing. So what I did is I recorded myself standing and was like, trying to feel like, I was in trouble about something, that I took the milk money. So you got to really get into it. And that's really, really important for you guys to not try to reinvent the wheel, because a lot of us try to do that, especially with something simple like a ball bounce. It's like my first character, my first animator's assignments is a ball bounce. And I said, the first thing I tell them is like, go look for reference, right? And usually they don't. They move the ball because they feel like they know how a ball moves, which we all seen a ball, but have you studied how it actually moves? There's a certain bounce, and there's a certain timing, and there's a certain hold when the ball's bouncing, correct? So it was really, really, really important for me to kind of get into the character. I was actually her at one moment. I was just like, okay, I need to be her, right? So it's really important to also think about cameras, because you don't want to be too straight. Look at the difference between when I hit a play here.
No one even asked me if I took the milk money that time. I just got a 3-day vacation.
Yeah. So look at that pose. You want to make sure that the silhouette of the character is readable. Why is that? Does anybody can tell me why? It's just, if you have a better silhouette, you have a strong pose, people are going to read that body language. Reading body language is really, really important on a character, okay? So that's why when you're dealing with cameras, they have to do with 2D, 3D, you want to make sure that the camera angle or your character's angle is on the right pose, because you want to make sure that body language is readable. If your character was a silhouette, okay? Just a plain silhouette, just like this. You're not going to be able to read this really well.
No one even asked me if I took the milk money that time.
Can you read that?
I just got a 3-day vacation.
No, you cannot. So you got to make sure that you have the perfect. There we go. This is great right here because you have what? You have really good negative space around your character. So that's very, very important. You want to make sure that you have that negative space. You want to make sure that it's clear. And if it reads well as a silhouette, it's going to read well when you add all the beautiful lighting, beautiful rendering, and whatever you want to do. Okay? Does this make sense to you guys? So let me go back to this.
No one even asked me if I took the milk money that time. I just got a 3-day vacation.
And all of this is improv as well. So even if you start, let me turn off the audio for a second and let it play. Even if you have it already locked down, you have your reference, you have your video reference, and you have, let's say, a little like sketchbook or a storyboard. Does anybody know what a storyboard is? So you have your storyboards. This is one of the things I recommend when you start any animation, is video reference, a storyboard, and then you could also even go as far as doing an animatic, right? Because animatics, you have the timing and the movement there already. So if you prepare yourself with those 3 things and then you start animating, you're not going to fail. But if you start cutting corners and say, you know what, I know this, I'm going to animate it, and some of you guys are like, I'm just going to use AI. And we'll touch base about that in AI, because I know you guys were wondering about that. So let me open up a new file real quick. How we do them in time, Leo? I know you're going to show some.
It's 12:30.
Okay. I'm just going to do a really quick ball bounce to kind of give you guys an idea how to go about it, and then I'm going to pass it over to Leo. He's going to show you guys some really quick 2D animation. Okay. But while let that go, who likes anime? I know all you guys do. Don't be shy about it. What we were thinking about what anime we should watch. Does anybody have an idea?
Cowboy Bebop.
That's a good one.
Jojo?
Dominion, please.
What'd you say? Which one? JoJo?
Japanese animation has had so much effect on American animation. Look at the character designs, and it's crazy. I think there's I just saw a commercial on, what is it, Netflix or something? There's a Superman that looks so anime. Have you guys seen it? And it's amazing how much anime and manga have had an effect on American animation. I love it. I love all forms of animation, but it's so cool to see culturally, all the different effects that anime has. Even in that 3D Pixar one, where the character is a little, he's like under the ocean or something. Have you seen that one? That Pixar? Oh, what's it called? Lucas. Did you guys see that? That's when I saw the characters. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like Cartoon Network and 3D animation mixed together. Cool.
Okay, so I created a little ball here. I'm going to animate this really quick. So look at that reference. When the ball bounces, it hits the floor, it goes back up, and it holds it. What is that trying to create? That's right, gravity. You guys are smart. So we want to make sure you have those hold times. So I'm going to go ahead and have it fall. I'm going to let it slowly go out a little bit and then release. So this is my timing. It's just a rough timing. And I'm going to go back up at the same, giving myself some frames in between. The cool thing about 3D is that I could copy and paste certain keys that I need. And then I'm going to copy this last one here. So this is my rough, my ball bounce animation. Oh, it looks like I have a, here we go. So it's a simple ball bounce, right? But to me, it's still not convincing because I could see how it's slowing down on the way up, which is creating gravity, illusion of gravity. But I want it on the way down, it's getting a little bit too slow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and adjust the curve editor. And this is what happens in the background. This is the algorithm of the background of the animation. This is it right here. This is where it starts, this is where it falls, and this is where it ends, okay? So in reality, what we want is a really nice V shape. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my Y translate, which is the up and down. For those of you that know 3D, there's 3 spaces. You have X, Y, and Z. You guys are cool. Okay, so this is my Y axis, which is always up and down. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my spline here is what it's called. I want to adjust it where I have a nice V shape. So I could go in here and do all this and adjust it manually, but I'm going to delete these that I don't need, and I'm just going to go ahead and just have that V shape like that. Boom. So now this is telling me that it has a nice curve. It's going to slow out and then go really fast and then bounce fast and then slow in again. Let's see the difference. Oh, do you guys see that?
Yeah.
It's a 100% difference. So this is what I'm talking about. Is making sure that you guys understand a little bit of your guys' referencing when you're doing animation, especially in 3D. Understanding how to get those references and integrate them into your own animation, and making sure that you understand your rig, you understand the tools. Okay? The computer's not going to do it for you. It's just a tool. It's you guys. You guys are the animators. You're telling the computer what to do. Okay? All right, I'm going to pass it over to Leo. Thank you guys so much. And we're going to be showing you guys a little bit more on how to get a little bit more involved into animation if you guys want to take some courses with us. And it's really dirt cheap. But the number one thing is that we want you guys to join our animation meetups. And that's free. There's no cost to you. It's just a group of artists trying to come together and trying to open opportunities for you guys that are looking for jobs, looking for collaborations. Maybe you guys have your own projects. Who has a project? We want to know your guys' project. And it's either could be a 3D or a 2D or maybe a combination or maybe a video game. All right, let's give it up for Leo.
All right, guys. Can you see this? Can you guys see the screen? This mic is on. Can you guys see the screen? No? There's nothing to see?
This is the connection.
That is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to bring you up to speed really quickly on what I'm doing. And I'm going to first show you the cartoon that I'm working on now. And as you can tell, can you see? No? There's nothing to see? Maybe not. Maybe I won't show you that. Maybe I'll just go right to Cowabunga.
Yeah, just
Yeah, okay. I was going to show you drawing demonstration, but it never works. Ever. Okay, so we'll just go to Cowabunga. But my presentation was about the iPad. If you're serious about animation, 2D animation,
Let me try one more time.
I would highly recommend an iPad. How many of you guys have an iPad with an iPencil? A good amount. It's a little expensive, but it is going to change your life when it comes to drawing, 2D animation, everything. In Pixar Studios, they have like iPads for everyone, and everyone just draws on it. It's really convenient. I love to animate just on the couch. For me, it's just better, it's faster, it's more intuitive than a Wacom tablet. How many people have Wacom tablets, Wacom tablets? Yeah? I use that too, but I exclusively use my iPad connected as a computer, so it works as a Wacom tablet. So good stuff like that. Okay, can you guys see the screen yet? No?
I'm gonna try. Can you bring that over here?
Yeah, I could do that.
See, maybe we can connect it directly instead.
Okay. Do you have an HDMI cord there?
Yeah, I got one.
All right, so what I'm going to show you is, hold on a sec.
But you don't need to stand here. You go bring the mic
Yeah.
over there.
I'm just going to talk real loud. Okay, so what I'm going to show you, all the animation, all the storyboards, all the character designs, all the visual development was all done in the iPad here. And the great thing is I travel to all over the world. I go to India, and it's a 16-hour flight, and the whole time I could be storyboarding and animating on the airplane, or if I'm waiting. So it's really awesome. Like, can you imagine that? You know, I mean, I don't have to stop for 8 hours. I can work entirely. It comes with a little pen like that, and no, Apple's not paying me for this in any endorsement or anything. I'm just telling you, it's a real. I have found my animation and everything to go up 100% because it's so convenient and it's so fun to do. So think about that. All the actual animation is not done in the iPad. We do pencil test animation, which is just the testing of it. The actual program we use, the professional and industry standard in the US alone, is called Toon Boom. And that is a very expensive software, but it is the industry standard, and it's vector animation. If you've seen The Simpsons, Rick and Morty, everything that's done in America, it's all done in Toon Boom. So that is our go-to animation. That's the one that we use. Well, our director is James Lopez. He is working on a cartoon called Hullabaloo. Has anybody heard of that? A couple of people? Google it and check it out. Really, really fun animation. Is it working on it? No? I really want you guys to see this. If I don't get it on there, I'll show you over here. We'll show you Cowabunga. And this is the interesting part, is that the cartoon I'm about to show you, 12 people worked on this cartoon, okay? We all had day jobs. That means that we didn't get paid for this cartoon we're about to see. And our Disney animator, I think his most famous movies that he worked on was Hercules and Home on the Range, right? So you can see, because there's a cow in there and it looks like Home on the Range characters. Have you guys seen that movie, Home on the Range, Disney? No? So anyways, when you see the cow character design, you'll see that everything looks very, very Disney. But he said, let's see if we can do a 4.5-minute cartoon and make it look like Warner Brothers Disney-style animation, and let's see if we can get it done in 6 months. Now, the industry, the way it usually works, the way everything works is that you start off in the blue sky development, and it's like, okay, we're gonna do Hercules, anything goes, and everyone starts drawing things and making up stuff. They don't even have a story. So that's why if you look at The Little Mermaid, she looks so different, right, than she did, the progression. And we were on a tight production, so we just went with it really quickly. And what you're about to see is actually full animation. It means it's done on 1s and 2s. So a lot of the animation you see in Rick and Morty is like puppet animation, right, where he was moving it. And so it's not full animation. The animation that you're about to see is all full animation. That means it was drawn frame by frame animation. And I have a lot of people come up to me after that are really familiar with technology, and they go, how do you get it so smooth? What's your frame rate? And the frame rate is normal. It's 24 frames a second, but the smoothness comes from drawing one drawing per one frame. So if 24 frames a second, if you see 1 second, sometimes that could be 24 drawings, right? So there's a part where you're gonna see where the cow's tail lifts up, and it was literally 24. I said, okay, I wanted to go up for 1 second, so it's 24 drawings of this tail, but it looks so smooth, and you don't see that these days, right? You just don't see it in it's called vector animation. So yeah, is it working now? Can I show it on?
Well, there's a. I hope not.
There you go. You got it.
Maybe try plugging it directly
So
in there.
what I want to do is I want to show Cowabunga here.
Okay.
Yeah. So we go ahead and keep telling them.
Okay, so normally what I would do is I'd show you. Let's see if I can just show it to you on the screen here. How's this? I know it's small. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna go. I'm gonna get.
Okay. So 12 people for 6 months worked on this, and it was not a full-time gig. And what happened, and what we're trying to do here, is it turned into this really cool collective. So there were people that did compositing, editing, and stuff like that, and they all came together, and slowly we built up this group. It was like this movie where we got, oh, this guy's really good at he's a warrior, this one's really stealthy, and all these people came together, and at the end there was a composer that wanted to break into the movie industry doing music for soundtracks. And he said, hey, I'll do this too. And then there was a guy that did voiceovers. And you're going to see at the end. So when you hear the music in the animated cartoon that we're doing, I want you to listen, because that's a full orchestra playing that music. And everyone did it for free, right? And okay, here's the big thing. When you work at Disney or Marvel or anything else, you should know this. You don't own anything that you do. You sign a contract in Disney that says anything that I draw here at the studio, here at my home, on vacation, is owned by Disney Studios.
All right, it's ready.
Okay, so what we did, and what's beginning to happen now, is a shift in animation, is that we're a collective, and we said, all of us, all 12 of us own this. That's why I'm able to show this freely, because I own this as well as 12 other people. We have the merchandise and everything like that. So we are called the Wild Goat Animation Group, and that's my big thing that I wanted to take away. If there's anyone here that, can you get it from the very beginning? If there's anyone here that wants to be a part of a collective and do that, what you will have at the end is you will have a reel that you will own, and you can show this. And so when I show this to studios, or I show this to people, they're blown away. Rather than, you can't do as much. I couldn't do this by myself. You can't do this by yourself. But as a collective, you can. So you don't get paid, but you get this amazing product at the end. It's a really cool thing. Okay, let me show you Cowabunga.
All right.
Look at this, guys. I want to show you on this production too. I was able to do everything. So Leo Beltran is my name, right? And then it comes up constantly here, Leo Beltran, then Leo Beltran. So I was able to do animations, storyboards, character designs, visual development, all this stuff. And then on our next animated cartoon that we're doing, which is really fun, can't talk about it, but our next one, everybody in the whole collective, 12 people,
Move beyond the marketplace and find
put ideas forward for our next cartoon. What are we going to do for our next one? And we all pitched our ideas, and mine got chosen. So now I am a director. I never would have had a chance to be that fast to go from an animator storyboard artist to a director. So now I have that on my IMB and my credit and my reel that I'm going to be a director now of an animation short. So this whole collective thing is really awesome, and we're not the only people. It's the people who do Aardman Animation, who do Wallace and Gromit. They are a company-owned studio too. They did that especially so Disney or DreamWorks could never buy them now because it's owned by every animator. So there's a really cool thing happening within the animation industry. And if you guys haven't gone to CTN in LA, it's an animation convention. It's really, really cool. Really, you can see things happening there. Animators are really, really awesome people. They're kind of like the people here, the gaming, the comic expo. They're just cool people, you know? They're really fun, really accepting, not judgmental. So anyways, that's my pitch. You guys definitely take some cards there. We have cards here for Richie and cards for me on there. And then come and see our booth.
Before you guys leave though, we want to open it up for questions.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions regarding animation, some of the software, the tech that we use, how to connect with us? Yes.
So I just did a quick little Google. Maya is $2,000 a year. The iPad is over $1,000, and this Harmony is $800 a year.
Yeah.
Is there any more? I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yes.
Is
Yeah,
there,
absolutely.
You stated a lot of facts.
Yes.
So what's your question?
I went to college. Would you guys recommend any sort of like less expensive options? Because like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I still do paper.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. For 2D stuff, what do you recommend?
2D, okay, so 2D, there are plenty of open source. You want to just Google open source animation software, and there's plenty of it. There is that initial investment of tech, because animation is technology, unless you can do it with paper and pencil. And even then you need a camera to record that, and you're going to need people to ink it in color and everything. It's just an initial investment. That is animation. If you're going to go in the animation territory, it's technology, and so you're definitely going to need that. Yeah.
But I think you use I think the cheapest route for 2D animation. You use like Procreate.
Yeah, you can use Procreate, you can use anything. You can use Photoshop, Krita is open source, has animation capabilities. Blender 2D grease pencil, have you guys heard of that? An amazing 2D program, amazing, and it's free. So the key word is open source. Look at OpenTunes is another software.
Oh yeah.
Hardware is where it's gonna cost you, but I've had my iPad for like 10 years, and it's great.
Yeah, there's a lot of companies out there with open source software, and don't let that, give you guys an excuse for not, trying to do animation. There's a lot out there that I've known students that work 3 jobs and have to pay rent, and they're eating ramen, and they still figure out a way to do their animation. So don't let that be an excuse. Okay? If you want to get into animation, and get with us, because we want to grow the animation community here in Phoenix.
Yeah.
We don't want the work going to LA. There's so much talent here in Arizona, especially here in Phoenix, that we could create a full studio.
Yeah, definitely.
I had animators, artists, 2D artists, illustrators, background designers come to the animation meetups and says, we're so happy that you're putting this together, because everybody's hiding underneath a rock and nobody's talking to each other. So this is why we created this. And let me show everybody right here real quick. This right here is the website, and if you guys go to the animation meetups, this right here, you guys are gonna meet some amazing, talented people. And if you go to our booth, you go sign up there. It's free. It's not costing you guys anything to do this.
We're not making any money off this. This is like I was saying, a collective. We are powerful when we're together working.
Yeah.
Together, we could do a lot more than by yourself.
And our last, you can see all the events that we've been having throughout the year. Our last one that we just did in July was. Let me sign in real quick so you guys can kind of see who we had. But her name was Grace Gunducker. Is that right? Yeah. I know it's weird. But there she is. And she started as a student, but she really enjoyed animation, and she went above and beyond. And now she works at Light and Wonder out in Las Vegas, doing like a lot of high-end casino games. And if you want to watch the video, we have the video presentation to that. It's free, no cost. But this is an open call for anybody that's into animation. If you guys want to get into a production, You guys want to start your own IP, or do you guys want to join an IP already existing and collaborate? Come and join us, and let's build a community together.
And we get a lot of people here that say, well, I don't have the skill, I don't have the skill. That's where the classes come in that we do. So we have 3D and 2D, and those classes are designed to give you lessons and then assignments and then a video critique or a one-on-one. That means I'll actually go one-on-one with you. And here's a huge thing. If you really want to get animation, you should not take critique personally. You should see it as gold. And if your instructor or someone is telling you, no, this is not good, go back and do it again, I will tell you how to fix it. And don't take it personally, like, oh my gosh. Take it like, okay, I'm going to grow from this. And you will. The classes are designed to do that. So.
Any other questions? Yes, Ben back.
Wait, can you speak louder?
Whenever you're drawing 2D animation,
Uh-huh.
for example, if you wanted to if you're doing 24 frames per second,
Yeah.
whenever you wanted to keep your object at one position, just staying there for a second, do
Yeah.
you have to create draw multiple of them?
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, so you're talking about the background. If there's an object in the background and the character is moving, do I have to draw
No,
the object?
you have to draw it, or do you have to duplicate it multiple times?
Yeah, so in 2D, it is drawn.
I think you could show him, if you come to our booth, he'll show you a demo.
Yeah.
So if I know we couldn't show it here, but if you guys come to our booth, we could show you a live demo there.
Yeah.
And we have it all set up right there, and we would love to get to know you guys, see where your guys' skill sets are, either in 2D or 3D, and maybe kind of point you into the right direction.
Yeah.
Okay? Any other questions? Yes.
So, I graduated from the Art Institute in 2018, and I
Yeah.
haven't been able to do anything with the diploma I got from there. I can't use Maya because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got any advice?
Well, like I said, if you want to do 3D, there's open source like Blender. Blender's a wonderful program, and that's something. Who has artwork? Raise your hand. Does anybody have any artwork or any animation right now? If you guys
on your phones,
on your tablets, if you guys do, I encourage you guys go into our booth. Show us. We'll give you guys a free critique. We're not going to.
Has anyone ever had a portfolio critique?
We'll do a portfolio review for you guys
It's
today.
really helpful. Yeah.
And if you guys are interested in doing some work, we can point you guys to the right direction. See different studios that might be interested in doing internships, things like that.
And for 2D, just say 2D. I know you're talking about 3D, but for 2D, really all you need is pencil and paper. If you say I really want to get in 2D, because it's just going to be drawing and characters and all fun stuff like that. You don't need to be digital for that.
Yeah.
For the actual animation, maybe later on. But for right now, so many people want to get in 2D, but it really is a drawing-based medium. I mean, you have to be a good draftsman. You have to study animals and people. We went to a club last night, and I was like, well, I got to take my sketchbook. It's like, no, Leo, you can't take your sketchbook to the club. But that's, being an animator, I was like, I go everywhere with my sketchbook. I mean, it's just, I felt naked without it. And so, yeah, that's part of being a 2D animator.
It was my birthday yesterday.
Wasn't allowed to bring my
I just
sketchbook.
turned 21.
Don't laugh.
And I was like, hey, let's go get a drink or some food somewhere. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, can I take my sketchbook? I was like, no. I want you to pay attention to me. No, it's great though, taking your sketchbook everywhere. I admire that from him. He goes, and I recommend everybody doing it as well. But I wanted to also kind of let you guys know Sunday, tomorrow. Even I know that the game on Expo is still going, but across the street here at the Arizona Science Center, it's literally in the corner here. We're gonna have a full animation event. There's gonna be studios. There's gonna be artists. And there's going to be people there doing animation workshops, like full-on work. It's all set up. I know this is where it's a really quick meetup here, but tomorrow from 12 to 3 p.m. This thing ends at 5 tomorrow. So if you guys could go and check it out, it's really, really cheap. It's like $5 for teens and $10 for adults. I recommend you guys going there because there's going to be a lot of creative people there that we partnered up with the Arizona Science Center, and I recommend you guys going mañana. That means tomorrow. Okay? So if you guys are interested in animation, doing some workshops, they're going to be 3D, 2D, and then also it's going to be traditional animation. Animation. So thank you guys so much for coming. Please come and say hi to us in our booth. And we apologize for all the technical issues today, but please come to our booth. We want to show you guys all this stuff and get to know you guys.
And show your artwork.
Yes.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
And you guys can follow on Instagram too. If you have Instagram, Docs Animation is the Instagram, DOCS. And Leo Beltran Art is my personal Instagram. And that's a great way to keep in touch and network.